She's living in Kansas City. My best friend in the world now calls Tennessee home. She moved to Memphis with my former trainer Garth and her daughter China in June, shortly after it was named the fattest city in the U.S. for like the 100th time. The mayor decided to start a Cut the Fat citywide health initiative, and Garth was recruited through one of his Wounded Warrior buddies to develop a middle school program. It was an easy move for Nina. She can run her web design business from anywhere. And China was more than happy to start high school in a new city after her less-than-stellar middle school years, poor baby. But all their change and excitement has left me without my best friend, my kick-ass trainer, and a great babysitter. And everyone knows how hard it is to find a great babysitter. Returning as class mom would be so much easier if Nina was still living here, especially since she was the one who once again convinced me to jump back into the thankless cesspool. "Just do it. You know you miss it," she said on our latest phone call. "What I miss is you big jerk." And I really do. There's a little hole in my heart and an emptiness in my life that no number of texts or phone calls is able to fill. Truth be told, that's why I agreed to rejoin the Class Mom Palooza. I need something to distract me. Thank God she didn't move away last year. I wouldn't have gotten through it without her. Our family was thrown for a loop when my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer. It was a rough go for quite a few months, and Nina was pretty much the anchor of our care circle. No matter how bad it got, Nina never wavered. Laura, my sweet second-born, was finishing her last year at KU, but she came home every weekend to cook and clean for my parents. Right before our eyes, she went from lazy college kid to domestic goddess. I'm not sure where she learned to make a bed with hospital corners, but I'm thrilled she did. My oldest daughter, Vivs, moved back to Kansas City from Brooklyn, where she was cohabitating with her architect boyfriend, Raj, and took a job as a nutrition consultant at our local Jenny Craig, just to be close to all of us. I nicknamed her the Lone Arranger because she single-handedly scheduled all of my mother's chemo and doctor visits, along with a schedule of who would be taking her to said visits. Finally, her bossy firstborn personality was used for good instead of evil. Max was eerily quiet but very cooperative, no matter how many nights he spent with China babysitting him. And my husband, Ron, well, he was a man and frustrated because he just couldn't fix the problem. As for me, I was not ready to lose my mother, no way, no how. But instead of standing strong and defiant, I was a very disappointing tower of jello. Who knew I'd fold like origami when the going got tough? There were lots of tears on my part and prayers on my parents' part, and it was all very bleak and sad until one day my mother, Kay Howard, up and decided that cancer had picked the wrong bitch to mess with. She actually said that out loud. It was the first time I had ever heard her swear, and I learned very quickly it was not going to be the last. With my mom in fight mode, cancer became our punching bag, literally and figuratively. I hung a boxing bag in my basement workout area, aka Ron's Gym and Tan, slapped a picture of a cancerous boob on it, and beat the shit out of the picture every day. It was Garth's idea, and it really worked. Not only did my arms get toned, I got out all my frustration, so I was ready to face my mother and her never-ending demands. Not demands for herself, mind you, but for my father. Kay was taking no prisoners, but Ray was struggling with the thought of a life without his darling girl, as he calls her. I always knew my parents loved each other, but I never realized how in love they still are. Mom was ready every day with a list of things my dad absolutely needed. It usually looked something like this: the newspaper, a poppy seed bagel from Einstein's, Snapple peach tea, the toothpaste that tastes like cherry, at least 10 hugs. Mom is now done with her chemo, thank God. In the spring, she rang the bell at the University of Kansas Cancer Center to signal her final treatment, said goodbye to all her chemo-sabis, and vowed to keep the fight going. Her hair was a casualty of her war with the big C, but beyond that, she is all piss and vinegar, which I believe is fueled by her collection of Golden Girls wigs. When she wears Blanche, there's no stopping her. When the phone rings, I already know it's her calling for our morning check-in. "Hi, Mom." "Sweetheart, are you busy?" "Just writing some emails." "Oh, good. Write one to your Aunt Barbara, will you? I think she only gets spam unless I send her something." "Happy to." I start typing her email address. I was a cancangirl@AOL.com. Aunt Barbara's a little eccentric. In fact, she's a family enigma. She's my father's half-sister from when my grandmother died and my grandfather remarried. I myself have never met her,